up, Bobbers? How's it going? I'm glad you're here. I hope you're having a very nice day. Let's jump into it. Today, we're going to talk about video games. I decided that I have been playing video games wrong, or that video games have changed. I have changed, and video games have changed also, but we still like each other. We're still friends. I was a Nintendo 64 kid. Well, technically I was a human kid, but I liked playing Nintendo 64 a lot. Video games were always about exploring. A good video game made you want to explore the next thing. Freak, dude, can you get to the top of that mountain? I don't know. Smash the jump button and find out. There was a lot of exploring. I remember a lot of times just not racing on Mario Kart with my brothers and sister. And we would just go off the track, have the freaking ding, 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 ding guy follow us around for 1,000 years. And we wanted to see if we could get to Peach's castle, what that looked like. Could you jump over a lake? Can you go hit that penguin? I don't know. Beyond just Mario Kart, there was a lot of that in Zelda. I feel like video games were really good at inspiring you to go places. That really instilled in me a spirit of adventure and exploration. And I think that video games are really good at teaching stuff like that. I wanted to get everything out of a video game. I guess I had all the time in the world when I was a kid, and maybe that helped a lot. But that, and I was broke as a joke. So I only had the games I had. So you just play them over and over and over and over and over until you can't beat that one boss, and you ask your brother to beat him for you. And after that, you keep playing, but you have to ask your brother for help a lot, and it's just the way it goes. So I skipped through all the dialogue a lot. This was before a lot of voiceovers. Remember Banjo-Kazooie, just a lot of just smash the B button right through that. That's not important, doesn't matter. And so I ended up getting lost a lot, not knowing where I needed to go, what I needed to do. And so that led to more exploration. Also, it didn't matter if I didn't finish a game. In fact, there are some games I didn't finish until I was well into my teens, and even after that I finally picked up and decided to finish. By not finishing a game, it left a lot more for me to want to come back and play later. So I think those three things kind of made gaming as a kid fun. Flash forward to when I'm a teenager, and now video games are they're becoming something new. There was always competitive gaming when I was a kid, but now it seems to take on higher stakes as you go to LAN parties or hang out with friends who are much better at Call of Duty than you and much better than Halo. I think there's still an air of exploration, but a lot of it came down to showing how good you were. There was a lot more competition, and I felt myself moving away from that. I think games also started moving away from the couch co-op, which is a real shame, which is where you sit down, you can be in the same room together and playing a game together. You can play the story mode together, which was still there when I was a teenager, but it was kind of starting to phase out. And I wanted to play more games by myself so I could experience the story for myself and then tell my friends about it. It kind of led to other areas of self-improvement. Finally, in my teenage years, I started experiencing emotion when it came to games. Not just frustration at not being able to win or constantly dying or yay, we saved the day. Not that. More complex emotions. I remember specifically one game, Spec Ops: The Line. It was emotionally difficult for me to finish that game. And for a long time after that game, I stopped playing first-person shooters because they made me sad. And so it made me take a step back and understand, hey, like, there are bigger things going on here, and you are developing as a person. That's kind of how I changed and games changed as I was a teenager. I also got a laptop, so I could get whatever freaking game I wanted and a job. So I think that gaming as an adult is the most fun so far because you can still play like you're a kid and you can still play like you're a teenager. I'm still garbage at first-person shooters, thanks Spec Ops, but also I do that mostly to hang out with my friends. And Even if I suck, I just like hanging out with them. So if that's what they want to do, I'm down. Gaming as an adult, I'm much more picky with my games. I really like single player story games focused on exploration. Tomb Raider, Star Wars, Horizon Zero Dawn, Legend of Zelda. Beautiful, lovely games. I just like them, and I can do those when I have some free time. I would say I'm probably pickier now because I have less free time. More money, less free time. Adulting, you know? I focus more on story and dialogue, so you don't just skip past it and you're not just aimlessly wandering. You genuinely want to know what happens to these characters because you understand the complex emotions you learned as a teenager are now playing a role in the game you're playing. Finally, you don't feel a need to prove yourself. These are for fun. Games are for fun now. You don't have to be the most skilled at something. I found myself not really caring about cosmetics. Some cosmetics in games give you, changing your appearance, give you stat boosts and all that, but really doesn't matter. I did like changing my lightsaber hilt in Jedi Fallen Order, and I liked customizing my bow in Tomb Raider. And your skills don't really matter. You don't have to be the fastest shooter, fastest freaking gun in the West anymore. You can just skip that and move on. I don't like quick time events. I don't care. That's kind of how I've seen gaming change as I have grown up and enjoyed games the entire time. I guess the life lesson here is that any hobby you pursue for a long time will probably change with you, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can still experience games, crocheting, books as you did when you were a kid by reading them how you did when you were a kid, or you can enjoy them as an adult and perfecting an art or perfecting anything really if you're just putting your mind to it. And I think that is really a beautiful thing. However you play, just have a good time and realize that you're doing enough and you don't have to do these things for anybody else besides yourself. And I think you're wonderful, and I'd love to see what projects you're working on. Put that in the comments below, and that'll do it for today. Thanks guys, love you lots. Bye. Guys hanging out, I guess, is that you can be playing two completely different games in the same room together, and that still counts. So no worries there.